my name is AMIRAH as a government minister. Today, I would like to officially call this multidisciplinary task force meeting to order. Our agenda today is the strategic implementation of the Falkland Free Zone 2.0 Master Plan. The central government viewed this expansion as a critical vehicle for anchoring Malaysia's position as a premium maritime gateway in Southeast Asia and capturing foreign direct investment. PKLZ has already attracted over RM2 billion in cumulative investment from roughly 200 tenants across 18 countries. But we cannot implement a project of this scale in a vacuum. Our commitments under the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement mean we must simplify border operation and reduce procedural friction. At the same time, this expansion runs headfirst into a real regulatory, ecological, and social tension around the Pulau Indah corridor. Our objective is to map out a clear, enforceable trade facilitation framework that balances commercial profitability with security, environmental protection, and community welfare. Let's begin with our physical operational landscape. I will hand the floor to our port and logistic developer to outline the commercial case. Proceed, please.
Thank you, Minister. I'm YUSRINA BALQIS as port logistic developer. To ground this in current market reality, PKFZ has gone through a genuine operational turnaround over the past year. But here's the number that actually matters for my position. Our light industrial unit occupancy still sit at only around 60%. We have real unmet capacity and demand in accelerating fast. Occupied space leased to China-linked manufacturer alone grow by roughly 59% year-on-year. To convert that demand into growth, we are ready to execute the PKFZ 2.0 Master Plan, releasing our final undeveloped land, 7.5 acre and 3.1 acre, and extending our operating hour. If we move too slowly, we risk losing this demand entirely to competing hub like Tanjung Pelepas. This isn't just about new land. It's about making sure the infrastructure we already have isn't sitting underused while demand grows elsewhere. Our primary ask today is straightforward. Release the final parcel and approve extended. Ideally 24/7 operating window so we can convert today's 60% occupancy into the kind of throughput this zone is capable of. We have the investment appetite to build. I will welcome our custom director perspective on how enforcement can move at the same pace.
Thank you, developer. My name is SITI NORFAROAIN from Royal Nation Custom Department. I hear the call for the speed developer, but expansion cannot come at the expense of border integrity. A surge in free zone cargo volume rise, real exposure to transshipment fraud and under-declaration. We should remember the 2035 case where an attempt to smuggle scrap metal worth over 9 million ringgit was made through a free zone within this very Port Klang precinct. Digitalization reduces paperwork. It is the not blank check to relate inspection. Our answer to your 34 hours demand is to drop our guide. It's a smart gatekeeping through the Malaysia National Single Window, our custom platform, alongside the newer MyCIEDS documentation system. Submitting electronic data in the advance lets our risk profiling engine assess a cargo before a vessel even docks. Compliant repeat imported shipment move through our greenland for fast, loss friction clearance. Document checks go through the yellow lane. Anything the flat as high risk go through the red lane for the full physical inspection. I'm willing to grant extended operating windows, but only the match with a real increase in our risk profiling capacity at this specific corridor and restrict to the operator who reach authorized economic operator equivalent compliance status. If businesses want to the around the clock speed, they earn it through the verified compliance first. That's how we get velocity without blind spot.
Thank you, Custom Director. My name is Puteri LIYANA from the Department of Environment. I am actually encouraged by the Custom Director Digital Screening Plan, but I have to directly challenge the developer's expansion model as it stands. An unmitigated push toward 24/7 operation means a continuous rise in heavy diesel truck traffic and industrial emissions into the Pulau Indah corridor. We cannot measure the PKFZ 2.0 success only in ringgit and throughput while ignoring our ecological limits. And frankly, PKFZ's own claims of solar powered buildings and EV transition are a good intentions, but it is actually not a verified outcomes. Our department insists this expansion formally embed the WCO's Green Custom Action Plan, which is structured around the three pillars. The first one is being, which is reducing the administration own's environmental footprint. The second one is doing, which is applying environmental safeguards at the border. And lastly, innovating, which is adopting low carbon technology into the system. Concretely, any new warehouse infrastructure under the 2.0 master plan must meet the mandatory solar readiness and also energy efficient standards. They are also have to verify annually by the Department of Environment, not just stated in a brochure. And on the border side, trade facilitation should actively support the circular economy, where we will create a fast-track clearance lanes for verified green technology, components, and legally compliant recycled materials that align with the custom director's online system. Sustainability cannot stay an optional marketing exercise. It has to be written into the developer's conditional operating license.
Okay, my name is NADEERA BALQIS, representative for Pulau Indah residents and domestic SMEs, local community leader representative. I'm glad our environmental regulator raised the daily reality of the Pulau Indah corridor because our residents are the ones bearing the direct cost of this port traffic. Let's be frank, PKFZ's own tenant survey conducted in December 2025 and January 2026 found the same problems our community has raised for years. Poor public transport connectivity relative to hubs like Shah Alam, broken street lighting and damaged road conditions. Pushing towards round the clock trucking on infrastructure that's already failing creates a real safety problem for our families. Our local SMEs are also worried about the being left behind. If PKFZ 2.0 only serve large multinational tenants bringing in their own supply chains, our domestic businesses absorb the congestion and pollution while gaining nothing from the growth. So, our community is facing in a clear condition on this project. A fixed share of new light industrial space and warehousing contracts must be reserved for local Malaysia SME operators, not just multinational anchor tenants. A portion of the zone's rising revenue must be ring-fenced specifically for infrastructure upgrades, roads, lighting, transport links, and on the planned centralized labour quarters and related developments, we want a formal community liaison channel so residents can raise concern before construction starts, not after disruption has already happened.
Thank you all. The tensions are clear. Our developer needs operational speed and more capacity to convert the 60% occupancy into real growth. Custom need a tight risk profiling through the single window. Our regulator demands variable green custom metric, and our community leader is rightly demanding social equity and infrastructure protection. Let's open the floor. Developer, how does your plan to adapt this environment and social condition?
Minister, we take this position seriously. A sustainable port is ultimately a more competitive port. To reach a genuine compromise, my firm is prepared to accept a conditional approval framework. In exchange for the government releasing our final 7.5 actual and 3.1 actual parcel and approving extended operating windows, we will co-finance shared local infrastructure, specifically dedicate heavy vehicle bypass corridor that routes our freight truck away from residential area, directly addressing the community congestion concern. And given the strong 59% growth we already seeing in the tenant demand, our project can observe this co-investment while remaining fully viable.
That is actually a meaningful step, developer. If you also commit to making a new health facilities which is rather solar ready and energy efficient with annual reporting integrated into our department monitoring, our agency will support the expansion.
Agree. We will verify our energy efficiency metric annually to ensure full compliance, not as a brochure claim, but as an audited commitment.
And custom will do our part. Prioritizing your compliance, solar verify, AEO status tenant through our U custom green lane, giving you the clearance speed you need while keeping our physical enforcement focused on generally high risk cargo.
If those 5 passwords are logged in and the SME warehousing allocation
Are explicitly written into the PKFZ tenant terms, our community will support this project as genuine win for Pulau Indah.
This is trade facilitation at its best. A balanced, multi-stakeholder compromise. To guarantee these commitments are carried out with full transparency, I am officially establishing the BKFZ Advisory Council, including independent logistic and environmental experts, to review our joint KPIs on clear speed, emission, and SME procurement area, with results published publicly. By blending Malaysia's single window digitalization, the WCO's green custom framework, and a binding community benefit sharing models. This task has shown that profitability, security, environmental responsibility, and social equity can move forward together. Thank you, everyone. Our joint resolution is carried. Meet it at Shrine.